Hello YouTube. Welcome a special video of this channel. Today we are going to be taking a look at the history of the Moscow Metro. Okay. So, on May 15, 1935, the first line was built from Zagoinki to Buda with a branch from Ahoyne to Smolensk. On March 20, 1937, there was an extension from Smolensk to Kievsk. And the next year there were two new lines. The blue line went from Kievsk to Kursk, and the green line from Teatralnaya to Sokol without Tverska, which was built in the 1970s. And during World War II in the beginning of 1943, there was an extension from Teatralnaya to Avtozavodska without the Kuznetska and Panetska, which were built in November. And then there was an extension and then next year there was an extension from Kursk to Partizanska without Elektrozavodska in January, which was built in June. And then there was an extension from Arkulturi to Kursk with a new line, which was going to be the Circle Line in 1954. In 1952, there was an extension, Kursk to Belarus. And in 1953, there was an extension, Ploshitzer to Kievsk, but the Ploshitzer to Kievsk 7 through Alexandersky Sad closed until 1958, which in 1954, there was an extension from Belarus to Parskoituri. And then September, there was an extension from Senskaya to Pervomaiskaya, which was and Pervomaiskaya was a temporary station open until 1961, which was replaced with the new Pervomaiskaya. In 1957, there was an extension from Kharkiv to Spartivne. The following year, there was a new line from Prospect Mira to Vudenha in June. And then in November, there was a new line from Alexandrovsky Sad to Kutuzovskaya, with the Alexandrovsky Sad from Tikivskaya reopened. The next year there was an extension from Spartivnaya to Universitet. And the same year in November, there was an extension from Kutuzovskaya to Fili. And then 2 years later, extension from Fili to Pionevskaya. And then on October 21st, there was an extension from Partizanska to the new Pervomaiska, with the second line leading to the temporary Pervomaiska station, which was closed. And then the next year there was a new line from Oktyabrska to Novochernovsky without Shabulovska. and then the following year there was the extension from Первомайская to Щеколская. And then at the end, at the end of 1963, there was an extension from Czechia to Yugo-Zapad, with Yugo-Zapad standing in the southern terminus until 2014. And then the next year there was an extension from Norwegian to Kaluska, which was a temporary station open until 1974, when it built the new Kaluska. And then at the end of the year there was an extension from Sokol to Rich Neuvoxal. And then the next year there was an extension from Pionierskaya to Molodozhnya, without Kuntovskaya, which was built the next month. And then at the very end of the year, there was an extension from Sokolniki to Preobrazhenskaya Ploshchad. The next year there was an extension. There was a new line from Taganskaya to Vukhino, which was called Zhdanovskaya at the time. And then 3 years later, 1969, there was an extension from Avtozavodskaya to Kakhovskaya without Technopark, which was built in 2010. And the Kashin to Kakhovskaya segment was open as part of line 2. And then at the same time, there were 2 extensions from Apterskaya to Kita, and Taganskaya to Kita, with Kitagora being called Ploshchad at the time. And then the next year there was an extension from Ploshchad, I guess, to Respect the Mira and the next day. The next year there was an extension from Vatican, new one from Vatican to Akterskaya. 2 years later, extension from Noisy with the temporary segment to the old Kaluska station was closed. The next year there was extension from Stanigora to Vatican. And then on December 30, there was an extension from Akterskaya to Polanya without Spartak, which was used to call Volokolanska, and which was built in 2013. And then 3 years later, in 1978, there was an extension from Vudenha to Medvedkino. And then the next year, Tverskaya opened. And then December, there's a new line from Maxitskaya to Novokiril. And in 1980, Shabalovskaya opened. And then 3 years later, in 1983, there was an extension from Serpuhovskaya to Yuzhna, with the station closed in the same year. And then at the end of 1984, there was an extension from Kashirskaya to Orekhovo, which the segment soon closed due to flooding and reopened next year. And the next year there was an extension from Orekhovo to Krasnovarteysk. And then in November there was an extension from Yuzhnaya to Prashkaya. The next year there was an extension from Serpuhovskaya to Borovitskaya. Yeah, actually there was a new line for Skaya. And at the same year, and 2 days later, there was a extension from Maxitskaya to Teretsikovskaya. The next year, there was an extension from Belayevo to Jopolistan. And in December, there was an extension from Badavitskaya to Chekhovskaya. 1988, and there was an extension from Chekhovskaya to Savilovskaya. And then the next year, there was an extension from Молодежная to Krylatskaya. In 1990, there was an extension from Teplitskaya to Novoyasenevskaya. The next year, in August, there was an extension from Skopoloshit to Bulvara-Kazovskaya, which was called Ulitsa Podbivskaya until 2014. In 1991, there was an extension from Saviolskaya to Ranaya, and which was the same year the Soviet Union collapsed. 1992, there was an extension from Atrana to Biv. 2 years later, in 1994, there was an extension from Tilatovia. The next year, the Kashirskaya to Kakhovskaya branch of Line 2 was detached as a line 11A, called Line 11 at the time until 2018. The next month there was a new line from Chekalovskaya to Volskaya without Dubrovka, which was built in 1999. In 1996, there was an extension from Volskaya to Marina. And then in 1999, Dubrovka was built. And in 2000, there was an extension from Plashka to Ulitsa Akademika Yangela. And the next year, there was an extension from Ulitsa Akademika Yan to Anino. The next year, there was an extension from Anino to Boulevard Dmitry Donskovo, with the going to reopen in 2022. 2002. The next year, there was an extension from Kievskaya to Park Победы, which became the deepest station in the Moscow area, and still remains the deepest station today. And then in December, there was a new line from Ulitsa Starchakovskaya to Bunitskaya. The next year, there was a monorail in Moscow from Timiryansevskaya. Was not considered a part of the Moscow area until 2016, when the Moscow Central Circle, or the MCC. The next year, there was an extension from Kievskaya to Vistovochna, which was a branch of the Figdevskaya line. The next year, there was an extension from Vistovochna to Международная. The next year, there was an extension from Chekalovskaya to Torobna without Sriti Boulevard, which was built at the end of the year. And in 2000, the next year, there was an extension from Park Победы to Strogino without Slaviansky Boulevard. And the Kuntovskaya to Korolatskaya segment detached from line 4 for line 3. And and in September in Slaviansky Boulevard. The next year there was from Strogino to Mitino. And then the next year there was an extension from Trubne to Marina Rocha. And in 2011 there was an extension from Marina to Zyablikovo. And the next year there was an extension from Kirevio to Novokosinov. And in December there was an extension from Krasnodar to Almatinska. And then 4 days later there was an extension to Pyatninskaya Chassé. The next year there was an extension from Fushino to Zhilievino. In 2014 there was a new line from the White Center to Park Pobyeды, which was the second line of the Kalinskaya Somtovskaya line that is not connected to the rest. And the Deloitte Center station was open until 2018. The next month, the extension from Ulica Strachakovskaya to Bitsevsky Park. The same year, Spartak was built. And at the end of the year, there was an extension from Ulica Yugo-Zapad to Taraparovo. And in 2015, there was an extension from Shulibino to Katinniki. And in December, Technopark was built. In 2006, the next year, there was a from Taraparovo to Miantovo. And the next month, there was an extension from Miantovo to Salarivo. And then there was a new line, which was a circular line, without Sakhalin, Gora, Dubrovka, Zorge, Hanifinovskaya, and Koptevo. 6 days later, there was an extension from Marina Rocha to Petrovskaya Razumovskaya. In October, Sakhalnika, Gora, and Dubrovka were built. The next month Koptevo was built. 4 days later, Zorge was built. Another 4 days later, Panifilovskaya was built. The next year, there was an extension from Raminki to Park Pobyeды. And at the end of the year, there was an extension from Shnoy Vokzal to Hovrino without Belomorskaya, which was built in 2018. And the next month there was the next year, from Deloitte Center to Petrovsky Park. The next month there was an extension from Petrovskaya Razumovskaya to Silegerskaya. And then in August there was an extension from Raminki to Raskazovka. And in December, Belomorskaya was built. 10 days later, there was an extension from Petrovsky Park to Savyovsk. The next year, there was a new line from Kosino to Nekrasovskaya. On June 20, 2019, an extension from Salarivo to Komunarka was built. And then on March 27, 2020, there was a final extension from Kosino to Lefortovo. This is all for the Moscow history. And now for the channel update. And for the channel update, I won't post videos for history videos just on Saturday, but also I will also post them on Monday. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the channel update. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.